about how you got started in your football career,
Yeah,
who
so
introduced you, that type of thing.
I'm gonna take it back to the very, very beginning. So, my parents, they were immigrants from Lebanon. So, my dad played basketball and my mother she did some gymnastics. And in Lebanon, the popular sports were soccer and basketball. Football didn't exist and they weren't aware of the sport. So, when they immigrated there, and my brother Michael, who won the Ball d'Or back in 2018 against Seminaire Saint-François, and when he enrolled to Jean Ed, one of his friends, he invited him to one of the practices, and he adored the sport. So my brother, he went there and he said to me, "Yo, Ryan, there's this new sport I discovered. It's called American football." And now I was like, what's this sport? What's this sport? Because when I was young, I always played soccer, basketball, and swimming. And
Okay.
none of these sports really clicked with me. So when I enrolled and I began playing football at the age of 12 or 13, I think. I the sport instantly clicked with me. There was this spark, and I loved it. And ever since, my favorite sport.
What position did you start playing at, and what
I
position are you playing now?
Yeah, I started playing defensive tackle. I liked it for my first, second, third year. I liked it, but I found it stressful, honestly. But when I began playing O-line a year ago, just I loved it. The physicality and you just pancaking someone is one of the best feelings ever. So yeah, I wasn't as stressed as I was when I was playing a defensive lineman.
So is there anything about your position currently that you don't like?
Uh, you know, as everybody knows, offensive linemen, they don't have the spotlight on them. When it does, the only time we notice them is when the line isn't working. So, that's the issue with the offensive lineman. But honestly, I love playing my position. I love it.
Well, you definitely are athletic and quick, and you can tell from your
Thank
film that
you.
you have a natural feel for the game. You absolutely dominate in the run game. We also can see that you're not afraid to get into people. So your statement that
Well,
you love
absolutely
doing
not.
pancakes is very
Absolutely not.
accurate.
Absolutely not.
But as well as being on the O line, we can see like you look like you definitely have a higher understanding of the game. So cerebrally, it looks
Yeah.
like you understand, angles, and you play with solid leverage. What type of player would you say you are? Are you kind of more the silent, you just dig in and do your job? Or are you like the raw guy on the line?
I'm raw. Katie. I'm just raw. I just want to dominate. I want to get under people and pancake them. I'm not that silent. But when people start talking to me,
Yeah.
I talk back. I'm not the one to just shut my mouth. I talk back. I don't trash talk, but I talk back. But I balance it so it doesn't get out of hand.
What type of coaching would you say you respond to?
Honestly, I like it when my coaches are aggressive. Not necessarily aggressive, but when they get into my soul, if I would say
Mhm.
it that way. If they not necessarily scream, but they're harsh, so I can remember it and understand it.
Well, you're making a lot of coaches fall in love with you right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
During the season, what would you say your favorite part about football is? Do you love the practice game? Do you guys have any team rituals that are really cool for you?
The best part I think is obviously playing on the field, but the second thing I like the most is just the long bus rides home after a
Mm.
big win. The vibe and the mood on the bus is one of the best feelings ever. So I just love that about football season.
You hear that quite a bit with people who have played sports and have had those long bus rides. They are
Yeah.
definitely something that are maybe unique just to the people who have been on those buses. What would you say for the teams in your division? Is there anybody that you guys are playing a season? So who are you looking most forward to playing?
Honestly, there's two teams that I'm really looking forward to playing against. The first one is Collège Notre Dame, because
Hmm.
in Quebec, there's been this rivalry with Collège Jean Eudes and Notre Dame for, honestly, I think hundreds of years. So, we every single year we have a match that, we win a trophy because a title trophy between the two teams. So there's this big rivalry between the two schools. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm looking forward to playing against Notre Dame. And the second team, I would say, is Collège Charles Lemoine. Last year, one of their defensive tackles, you put him in your All Canadian team. His name was Thomas Pilon.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and we played 2 games against them last year, and my first game playing against him, he shook me a bit. Yeah, I'm expecting good quality players at CCL and Collège Notre Dame. Yeah.
What are your goals for the season, taking into effect that the pandemic is going on? Did your goals change at all because of that, or?
Really, my ultimate goal, is just dominate. Dominate.
Mm.
I want to help my team win. All I think about is winning, 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 winning. I don't want to be selfish. I just want my team to win. I want to have a good season. I want everybody on my team to enjoy the season, and that's the most important thing for me.
What did your off season look like this past few months, and how did you keep in contact with your coaches and your teammates?
We during the season, I was grinding. I was doing some cardio. I went to the gym. I had a workout every single day. I was grinding, and how was I was keeping contact with my team? Well, live video with Teams, Zoom. We every single day we were talking about plays. We watched the past clips. Keeping in touch so we can keep our mind fresh for the season.
A lot of teams were doing that. It's good to hear that.
Yeah.
So let's switch a little bit. We ranked you on the CFC 150 class of 2022 in our prospect rankings. How did that make you feel when you found out that you had been ranked?
Honestly, when I started playing football, I never knew I was going to, make something out of it. I thought football, sports was just something, to have fun, to move around for my body. When I got ranked, that's when I started taking stuff, seriously. I was
Mm.
thinking like maybe I can make something out of this. Maybe I can. I hope going Division One football in NCAA. I don't know. But yeah, it made me feel good. Made me feel like I can do something with it. I have opportunities outside of just working at a 9 to 5 job.
How has your recruiting process been for you since then? Do you have any offers, either U Sport or the NCAA? Or are you
Parents
going to
thought
be tight-lipped on that?
Yeah, actually, my parents really don't like me to talk about my recruiting and where I'm going to. So I'm.
No, that's perfectly fine. We understand. We'll be looking forward to seeing what actually happens with you in the future. But what are you looking to do academically at your future school?
Thinking about biomedical engineering or mechanical engineering. Yeah,
Okay.
engineering really interests me, so I hope I can get into my program and have good grades.
You attended our combine this past summer. How did you find that?
Yeah, honestly, I dominated. I think I would say I
Yeah.
dominated. It wasn't too hard. I still put my 150% into my both
Mhm.
of my combines, but I dominated.
How do your parents help you with staying grounded?
It's complicated because my parents, they never thought that sport would bring me anywhere other than just playing and having fun. They weren't think that I would go play professionally. Parents, they think their philosophy is performing at school, having a good job, and being successful in life out of your job that you studied for in school and university and all that. So they support me.
It sounds
As
that you sound like you have a very similar path to Laurent Duvernay Tardif.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, he's a special kind of human being. I mean, medicine, medical school. He became a doctor and he's playing in the NFL. That's something else. But
That's a pretty good something to aspire to, though, don't you think?
yeah, definitely. He's my favorite football player. Honestly.
Do you have any, before we just kind of sign off here, are there any like hidden talents or things that you do outside of football that are, interesting things that you can tell us about yourself?
I read a lot. I read a lot of books. I read a lot about literature and history, especially the Middle Ages, which is kind of a nerdy thing, which you don't really expect of a football player because in media and all of this they portray football players as being jocks that don't that aren't interested in deep things or complicated stuff. So yeah, I read a lot about history and the Middle Ages and poetry.
We've heard a lot of different players who have, different things that they do that surprise us when we hear about it, and it just kind of gives us a different picture of who the person is. So it's always fun to learn about what other people are doing outside of their football careers. So where do you hope football is going to take you into the future, and what are your like really long-term future dreams or career choices?
My ultimate goal is just to play. Hopefully, when in the future I can get an offer from a relatively good or small Division 1 school. I'm not talking about Penn State or Michigan or Ohio State. A good, relatively small Division 1 program, and maybe going pro in the CFL or NFL. I don't know. That's a dream. Hopefully, I can achieve it, but we'll have to see.
Well, the sky's the limit, right?
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Well, it will be fun to watch to see kind of what happens with you guys in the RSCQ this season. I know that there are a lot of players in Canada that are very jealous of you folks right now, as they are, just hoping that they can get a season maybe in October or even in the spring. So you'll have to just really enjoy and appreciate every single game that you get to play this next couple months.
I'm gonna make the best out of this season.
Well, thank you so much for meeting with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Katie, for having me.
Looking for more exclusive Canadian recruiting content? Become a CFC Insider Gold or Silver member today for access to rankings, analysis, and the latest recruiting news from across the country.